Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Transparency Place. Happy Resurrection Sunday. We know you probably all are busy and enjoying family. Believe it or not, I got a party happening outside my house right now, too. But I had to stick with my commitment. I grabbed my friends, and we are here to talk about healthy relationship traits versus toxic relationship traits. It's a common or popular conversation that's happening right now, and I invited some of my friends who I know are very transparent, and I believe they have stories that will inspire. And they're just the type of people who naturally inspire. So I'm excited for them to be with us. And I believe all of us have some type of story that has changed or molded us. So we're going to talk about it, and we are going to hopefully figure out how to change some of these toxic traits so that we can build long, healthy relationships. So come on, friends, hop on the screen. Let's talk. Let's introduce who you all are, my amazing people. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hello.
Oh, that was a real dry good, Teresa.
I'm good. I'm good. I
All right,
promise.
Rebo, did you even say anything? Rebo, you saying something? Or Rebo, we just can't hear him. What happened? He
Reba,
froze.
you're stuck.
Yeah, I'm
Rebo,
here. Y'all ain't see,
you gonna
you
say
ain't see me
something?
waving my arms, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to
No,
give
you
you a
had a
little bit
little
of
delay
energy.
happening.
Just trying to give you a little energy.
We need to hear your voice, but I want you all to introduce yourself to the people, and we'll start with Delisa. Delisa, tell the people who you are.
Hi, everyone. I am Delisa. I am very vibrant, transparent, empowering, motivating. At the present time, I serve as a career coach for the city of Detroit. I have a lot of things that's coming your way really, really soon. So be on the lookout for, things that I have coming up.
All right, Teresa, who are you?
Hi, guys. I'm Teresa. What else?
Tell us about what you have upcoming. What are you?
Okay. I'm in school. I'm a student. I'm in school to be a mental health counselor. I'm a little transparent. Um, put toxic on my head. That's me. So,
Put toxic on my head. What an
Ew.
introduction.
no.
Oh, she's
Um,
here.
yeah, I'm here. I'm very no, I'm a transparent person. I work with kids that suffer from mental illness. Yeah, like I'm very understanding, and I try to see things from different angles to figure things out. So yeah.
So I also heard that you are selling some lashes and possibly some bundles. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, here's my lashes. Got them all, guys. This is the hair. So I'm selling lash books. I'm in the process of getting everything together. It's called Ellador Lashes, and it's for everybody, y'all. I got them. The naturals, the big bangs. Like, if you like to wear makeup, this where it's at because I ain't selling one. I'm selling five, a whole book, and they and they coming from all angles. So support. Look me up. Yeah.
All right, Rebo, what's up? I'm mad at Rebo delay.
This is the Purple Rose
What's the
experience.
deal?
Tell us about who you are.
Hey, I got a delay.
You got a delay. You got a horrible
Yeah, Doc.
delay.
Can y'all hear me?
You can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, my government name, my my government name is Lawrence Dunn. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, no, everybody call me Rebo. My government name is Lawrence Dunn. I wanted to be a little bit more formal. I am the experience to hell. They burn long. Y'all, anybody in here that got candles from me, y'all know what type of quality they are. But tell everybody, buy some candles. That's who I
Re-
am. I'm the candle man.
he is the candle man. Rebo creates an amazing candle that offers an amazing experience, and it burns for a long time, and it travels all through my house. So I have one candle that typically sits on my dining room table, but it travels through my entire 3-bedroom home. And I love it. I love it. It's an entire experience. I'm like, oh, this is great. And he has some that will open your sinuses, clear your allergies, and some that just will flat out relax you. Rebo, we got to get your delay together, buddy. We gonna have you log out and log back in, or switch your device for me, and then we gonna get this conversation started. Hopefully he heard me. There's something not right over there, and we gonna hold it down while Rebo get his stuff together. So Dorisa started the conversation already saying, "Put toxic on her forehead." That's what you said. We need to know why we want to write toxic on your forehead. What makes you say that?
I don't know, because sometimes I can be a little toxic, like, and it's so natural. It's so natural to be toxic, like, for me, like, I could do things and it's just like, dang, now why you do that? And it's like, because it felt good. it just felt
so
good.
What is toxic?
It depends on what it like. It depends on the situation, but when I looked it up, it said something poisonous, harmful, waste or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not waste. Like, I'm not trying to be waste. Like, I'm not trying to be harmful or whatever. So it's like, I mean, I guess it depends on like what I'm being toxic to. What
you
energy
being
I'm
toxic to?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? So are you saying that you can be toxic to not just individuals? Like, elaborate a little bit more on that.
Prime example. Like when I commented on somebody's picture and I was like, yeah, that's toxic. Because why would I do that? Like, like I commented like, emoji, and it's like, now what you do that for? You ain't have to do that. And it was like, because it felt good at the time. But let me delete that. Like, let me check myself.
Hold that thought. Delisa, what's toxic?
I mean, I would just say is when you have behaviors and personality traits that are meant to cause harm to others, right? So in a lot of cases, and it could be unknowingly you're doing things that is causing harm to others, but you're being toxic. And I've noticed and realized some of my toxic behaviors. So it's just, in a nutshell, that's what it is to me. Just having these personality traits or these behaviors that you do, such as when Dorisa said she commented on a picture and she knew she probably shouldn't have, and she realized, okay, I was being a little toxic at that moment. So I would just say, like, mainly behaviors.
So let's see if our friend got his life together. Rebo, you all right over there? Can you hear us? I think we lost him again. He having some technical difficulties. Okay, so we're going to text Rebo on the back end. I agree with y'all about what toxic is. But Delisa, oh my gosh, y'all about to mess me up with these D's and D's today. We've
been doing this all our life.
So this has been a long time of this. Okay. Whew, hold on, let me get my mind together because y'all about to stress me out. I said, why did I do this to myself? Okay, so toxic. I agree with you all. I agree with your definition. That wasteful piece, that's intense, right? And then Delisa, you said being toxic, being affecting others or hurtful or harmful to others. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that, because I noticed a lot of toxic traits that I had within me that was harming me. And I had to release some of those things so I could become a better person. So absolutely. I mean, you can harm yourself as well. You can harm your reputation. Being toxic, you can harm, who you desire to be later on if you don't rid yourself of those traits. So absolutely, you can be toxic to yourself as well.
Then you also said knowing and unknowingly. So what made you realize that there were toxic behaviors happening on your behalf?
Right. So before I realized how I could, like, different ways I could effectively communicate, I went to counseling, and I realized that there were certain things that I would say and that I would do that would be toxic. And after I realized, mainly because I would just pinpoint fingers at other people without realizing, the things that I was doing on my own. Because when we argue, sometimes we argue mainly to get our point across without listening to the other side. And I realized like there were certain behaviors that I had within relationships that all of my exes were saying I was doing. And it took me to step back and realize, everything that they were saying so that I can embrace, what it was that was going on so I could fix it. Because, if everybody, you walk like a duck, you act like a duck, you're a duck, right? So it's like everyone was saying these things and I wasn't listening to it. I was just brushing it to the side. And at that moment, when I was like, oh, that is kind of me. That is something that I do. That's pretty much when I realized, unknowingly I was doing it, right? But when I faced the no, and I decided to fix it.
So it took a conversation with someone else for you to realize what was happening.
Absolutely.
So would you say it was from counseling, or it was more so because you heard it from so many people?
I would say it's a mixture of both. I would say it was from counseling, and through counseling, I realized I heard it from numerous individuals, and then from there, I had to have some self-realization. So it's all three of those components played a role with me acknowledging what it was and ultimately fixing it.
I definitely agree. In the comments, it says communication is so crucial in counseling. Therapy definitely helps. It's like holding a mirror up to yourself and forcing you to face it head on. And honestly, that's what I thought of when I came up with this description. I'm like, we're really tonight, we want you to go look at yourself in the mirror and be able to adjust. And it's not so much is going to happen overnight. But looking yourself in the mirror and say, okay, this not right. It's uncomfortable. I'm hurting me. I'm hurting other people. How can I adjust it? Again, it's not going to happen overnight, but at least start taking those steps or even realizing what it is to take those steps. So, Derisa, it's back on you, boo. It's back on you. She got toxic on her forehead. Okay, so we got the comment, you questioning yourself. So it sounds like you're kind of like in the realization piece that this toxic behavior has happened, or have you known for a long time and maybe you're taking some steps? Let's talk about it.
I think I've known for a minute. I feel like a person know. Like you just can't go all these years and not know that you're toxic. You wake up with yourself. You communicate with people. You live with yourself. Like some of the things that make you toxic. Like I don't know how to communicate. Like I get so like if you over talking me, I have to talk louder. And it's like sometimes I talk and it's like I don't take a step back and be like, well dang, you right. It's like I'm probably gonna sit at home and I'm gonna think about it and then I'm gonna text you like, yeah, you was right. But it's like, no, it don't matter no more. Like what we talked about 2 hours ago don't matter no more because you didn't let it sit, marinate. And it's like to me, it's like, I don't know, it take a minute for it to process. Like not because it's like I want to, but it's like I gotta really sit and think on stuff.
Are you
Before
listening when people are talking to you?
it depends.
Every situation we get a different heart. That's what we learning.
It depends.
I love you.
it depends because it's like I'm a person that feels like everybody has their own opinion, their own perspective. You're not going to persuade me to feel how you feel because I already said how I feel. So at that point, once I said how I said what I said and how I felt, I don't care how you feel. I mean, I care, but it's like you're not gonna make me think like you. I already feel this way, and it's like I mean, people don't like to hear that, but it's like I don't know. That could make me toxic, but it's like I already feel how I feel. Like that's just that.
Delisa, you think that's toxic?
In a way, only because you're not accepting the thoughts and opinions of others. Because I mean, in life, we have to compromise in so many different situations. And if we're unable to effectively communicate and listen to the desires or the thoughts and opinions of someone else, because we're not always right.
Right. No, I'm not saying like I don't respect them. Like I respect what people say, but it's like how you feel is how you feel. But I might think something else. Like you might say, oh, I believe in God and God should feel like you should be like this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm Jehovah's Witness. Like, and I believe this. So why, like, how you gonna try to make me believe over there when I believe like this? Like, that's how I feel. But it's like I'm
Okay, so
listening.
can we? But in those conversations, is there a possibility of you agreeing to disagree?
Yeah, but it's like I got a problem when people project their beliefs and their opinions on me.
But
Like
can they do that if you don't allow them to?
Yeah, that's when I stopped paying attention.
She got toxic on her forehead. She told us from jump. She told us from jump.
Delisa keeps me young, okay?
I ain't listening no more because I said what I said. Like, my biggest thing is I don't like to argue. So it's like I feel like in conversations, people they want to get their point across. They loud. They're going. They're going. I can't listen no more. Like, once your voice elevate to, if I'm here, can you see me? If I'm here and you here,
Can you see me?
I can't listen no more because it's like I got now you traumatizing me and I can't
So
listen.
it sounds like now you traumatized. It sounds like the individuals that you've been working with though may have some toxic communication patterns too.
Could be.
So like you said, you don't know how to communicate. But again, okay, so if somebody starts off calm, you already admitted to you got to talk over these people.
It depends.
Is it you or is it them, sis?
It depends.
That is her line for tonight. Okay, tag.
No, for
Hashtag
real.
everybody.
No,
It
for real.
depends.
It depends. Like, I don't go into a conversation like, oh, yeah. Like it's like we talking, and it's like I feel if a person I feel like they not hearing me, I'm gonna project my voice a little louder so you can hear me. That's it. It depends. It really
That it
depends
depends.
because
I'm gonna tell you.
in certain cases I'm quiet. Like if I feel like something gonna turn into an argument, I ain't gonna say nothing. Like I don't care if it's eat me up inside. I won't say nothing because I'm past arguing. I'm not gonna argue because it's just like I I get mad easily. So it's like I don't want to talk no more.
Okay, so then how do you propel forward in relationships if you cannot get that message across without yelling? And I'm not sure right now if it's you, sis.
I should be trying to tell people it's not me, it's you. Like I'm not the
I ain't say it was
problem.
100% them. I said I'm
You
not
already said
sure.
it.
That I'm not sure. I'm listening, but I said I'm not sure it's you. But there has to be a middle ground, is what I'm trying
Right.
to say. Because you
Right.
admitted to your toxic, but you all have to learn how to communicate with each other. And this is not just in intimate relationships. This could be simply with anyone.
Family.
Your
Mm-hmm.
family, it could be you and I. So here's why I'm not understanding, because my conversations with you don't go that way. But I
No.
also know how to communicate with people.
True. True. I don't know. It's them. It's not me. Like, no, I'm
Well,
joking.
no.
No, it depends on what we're talking about. Like, I had a whole conversation with a person in regards to the COVID vaccine or whatever, and it's like, okay, if you don't want to get it, that's fine. But if I'm thinking about getting it, that's just that. What, you still could catch COVID? It's like that's not the case. Like, I know I can still catch COVID. I did my research and but that's stupid. You should get it. Okay, that's how you feel. But I already made up my mind as to if I'm gonna get it, why I'm gonna get it, stuff like this. Well, people still get COVID. It's like I already said, you got your opinion on how you got your opinion on why you want to get it. So don't try to persuade me, to not get it because you don't want to get it. Like, and that's the biggest thing I have a problem with just anybody. Like, you feel a certain way, that doesn't mean I have to feel a certain way. And I come across a lot of people that I feel like y'all want me to feel how y'all feel, and I can't do that. Like, I always been everybody going right. I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna go right or I'm gonna go left. And I might
So
just go
what's wrong
straight.
with you saying that part to them though, and that's the end of the conversation?
Because people like to keep going.
But you like to keep going too if you keep going with them.
Yeah, I was a therapy too. And
It's the for me.
So yeah, I
and
was
she
there.
told me, I told her I got time for people, and she said, "No, you don't." But I said, "Yes, I do." I gotta give you what you give me, okay? Like
That's toxic. That there is toxic. What you just said, I gotta give you what you give me. That's toxic.
listen, I'm working on it.
When does the cycle end? If you
I
gave
don't know.
everybody what they gave you, really, how would your life be?
It depends.
And I'm telling y'all, it's a new shirt slogan.
I'm just I really I'm growing up, y'all. I'm growing up because certain people I just don't give it to them because it's gonna keep going, and I don't be having time because I be tired. But it depends. Like I don't know. It depends on the day. Like
Okay,
the
so here we go.
mood.
We're going to switch the gears right here. We done with it depends. So, okay, you know what your toxic traits are. You know what your
Right.
behaviors are. How can we make them healthy? What can you do? What are you thinking in your head that you can do to turn this toxic behavior around? I told you one step already. So, come on, what you got?
What was your step?
She don't listen. There go toxic trait number 2 right there. Oh, call them out tonight, baby. Call them out tonight. All right.
Stop playing. What's wrong with you?
All right. So let's get back. Let me become my professional self. She don't want me to play. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. So I told you that you don't have to give people what they give you, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's one way of turning it around. You can just decide to be the bigger and better person and stop.
Why we always got to be the bigger and better person? Like what?
Delisa, can you answer her question, please?
Like it's not. I hate when people be like, no, because I be hearing that all my life. You just gotta turn the other cheek. You just gotta do this. It's just like that don't work all the time. Like if you find out,
You don't have to engage in every argument and fight you're invited to. Some things just is not worth it, honestly. We have things that we could lose at this point in life. So, I mean, sometimes you just have to be like, it's not worth it. Just like you said, you're not going to prove your point to them and get them to come on your side and vice versa. So, it's not putting that much energy into it. It's not even worth it at this point in life.
It's okay to agree to disagree.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. No, for real, I really agree with that.
So let's think about
Because
this.
I'm
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Delisa.
I was just going to go back to what you said about the COVID vaccine, because I was the other person who you were talking to, right? So I was the person who was like, I'm not getting that. I might grow an extra finger. I don't have time for that. It was just so many things. I was rejecting it, and it took time for me to listen to a couple of other people who were expressing how they were feeling about the vaccine and what they heard, and then doing my own research. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and get it. So it's like you can be persuaded to kind of understand or get to a different level of understanding where you are receptive to what another person is saying.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I
So
just always been the type of person that's like, I feel like this, I'm gonna stand my ground, and I feel like if I feel like you're trying to knock me off my ground, then I'm standing. I have a problem with that because it's like I already said how I feel. Now you're trying to. I don't know.
okay. So where do you think that type of behavior comes from? The defensive, the thoughts, I'm gonna stand my ground. Where do you think that comes from?
Childhood, like we was always. I don't know, like, and I think about like how I'm raising my son now. Like back in the day, we was always told, "Shut up," Well, in my household, shut up. Kids supposed to be seen, not heard. It's like, dang, like, and I just feel like that's why a lot of people they don't know how to healthy communicate because they wasn't allowed to express themselves. So it's like now with my son, how you feel? What's up? Like, what's going on? Like, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Like, you don't have to go in the other room and shut up. I want to know how you feel or whatever. And it's like I feel like as a kid, I could never express myself. Like, so it's like now I'm just like I'm gonna talk because I'm grown and I pay my bills. So let's talk or whatever. Like like now I got a voice. Let me use my voice because my voice wasn't heard. So it's just I don't know.
Delisa, where do you think your toxic thoughts or behaviors came from?
I would say the same thing as Doris said. It stemmed from, when I was younger, I was bullied in a way. And I was very, very sensitive. Hell, I still am. Y'all know this about me. I cry at the drop of a hat. So it was like, it's just I was like known as the crybaby and different things like that. And then once I figured out I can fight, oh, I was fighting. No, it was just like, oh, I knew how to throw hands. That's the only thing I knew how to do. So I just did it. And it was like from then I was just like, I'm about to argue with you. And then whatever happens after that just happens after that. So it stemmed from like childhood, from me like kind of being picked on and feeling like I was too soft to do anything about it. And then once I figured out that I had a little bit of aggression, I used it to the best of what I thought was my ability. Um, but that, and that carried on for years, like college, a little bit after college, and that was toxic.
I believe they come from our childhood, but I also believe they come from not just the childhood experiences, but our experiences as we're growing, like in adulthood. Um, my toxic trait is I think on things a lot. Overthink. And I even coach some clients through it. So if you're an overthinker, I highly recommend you scream stop. Or even like today, I was in a Dollar Tree. I went in the Dollar Tree to get, what did I go get? I went to go get some aluminum pans, but I came home with some gardening tools. I looked at some paintbrushes, and then I just told myself, get the hell out this store. So sometimes you have to stop those toxic things by calling it out for what they are. Like I'm walking through the store, I'm out loud, like, get the hell out this store. And I was talking to myself. So to go back to the point of experiences, being able to communicate with people who have once hurt your feelings. So now you have this wall, this defensive thing up, or when you talk to them, you already feel like you're about to give them the cold shoulder, or you only gonna give them a little bit, you're not gonna give them everything that you have. So I feel like those experiences are developing the blocks that are creating toxic behavior in those relationships. So in taking that, now how do we switch that? That's the key tonight. We want to know how to switch these things so that we can build healthy relationships, right? So I already told you, when you in the grocery store and you have no control like me, you yell, stop, or go to hell home, or whatever the problem is, you just be real with yourself. It's nothing wrong with having a conversation with yourself. Do you all talk to yourself?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Teresa was shocked by the comment. You want me to read it to you?
It popped up. I'm like, dang, what's that?
I can't stand her. It says, some of its childhood experiences. I used to seek out a man like my father until I realized he was a good father, but not the best husband. And that made me change the type of man I saw. So what she was going after, it wasn't there. It wasn't really what she was looking for. It was my father. It gave me an idea of my father, but that's not who I needed as my husband. So that's dope. That the way, like, that was that self-realization to turn the knob, to turn it around. And so back to turn the knob. Our toxic, those blocks we're building, those behaviors that are showing up because we're building these blocks or because we had those childhood experiences. We want to turn it now onto the healthy knob. So what does healthy and happy look like in relationships? What's the picture y'all painted in y'all head of healthy and happy? Let's talk about it.
For me, it's just effective communication. Only because I think everything in a relationship with anybody, family, friends, intimate partners, whoever, is if you are unable to effectively communicate with that person, you will not be able to connect with them on a level that you're supposed to, or you should be able to make sure that relationship is healthy. If I'm unable to express to you how I feel and also receive how you feel, so that we are able to kind of build a bridge so we can cross over certain obstacles and battles, then we won't have a healthy relationship, in my opinion. So communication is just, going back to like love languages and different things like that, loving people how they want to be loved, and not necessarily how you feel like you should love them or what you feel like they need. I believe that's the way to make sure that you maintain healthy relationships with other people.
Derisa, what's your picture of healthy? What is that looking like?
Happy. My biggest thing is just happy. Like I always say, oh, communication is key. Communication is key, and like we know that. Like I know that or whatever. So it's like, you always want somebody you can communicate with, you get along with. Like if I'm having a bad day, it's like you know, I could come talk to you about it. Or, sometimes you just don't even, I don't need you to talk. I just need you to be there. I'm like a mushy person. Like, I just need you there. Like, I just need to rub my shoulder on you just to know that you're there or whatever. So it's like, you know, understanding, communication, happy, you know, yeah, that's about it.
So, do you think that your healthy self plays over into your healthy relationships?
A little bit. Dang, I feel like you giving me
Mm.
all the hard stuff.
This is all of us, so we're all talking here. It wasn't even directed towards you. It was just a common
Oh, I did
question.
think it was directed towards the reason too. So I'm sorry, I should have answered.
But you shook your head yes.
Absolutely, I do believe that.
So then it also, so do you think the toxic self flows over into your relationship?
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
definitely believe that. Because when we were
So
talking about where we should start at to make sure that we become healthy, it starts with self. We have to figure out what it is about ourselves that's toxic or that we don't necessarily like or enjoy, or what's the repetitive behavior that we have, that's not always the healthiest behavior to have. It starts with self. That's the only way we can bleed over into other avenues of our life, even within our career. you know if we have these traits that we're doing right now and we don't fix them, it will bleed over into every aspect of
the overflow,
I agree.
whether you're happy or you're toxic, that's what you're replicating around you, one way or another. So the choice is really yours, right?
Yeah.
our life.
So, what would you all say to the people who want to build these healthy relationships, but all they know is toxic? How do we get them out of the toxicity of what's happening in their life?
For me, like I know when I was at a point where it was like I was I was real negative towards myself or whatever. So it got to the point where it was like I got tired of putting myself down. Like, how can you build the next person up and get the next person advice, but you can't give it to yourself? So it got to the point where it was like I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna get what I'm giving y'all. I'm gonna get it myself. And then even in relationships, it was like I'm really loving on y'all, and I ain't loving on me. So I'm gonna love on y'all. How I'm loving on y'all, that's how I'm gonna love on me, or whatever. So, and it got to the point where it was like I'm gonna treat myself like this. I'm gonna love on myself like this, and like even my self esteem got better because it's like you the shit. Like that's what I be telling myself. Like
You are, period.
like you like go ahead, like for real. And it got
Yes.
to the point, like it just was like if mentally you can't get it together with yourself, you can't get it together with somebody else. So it was like loving on me makes me love on the next person more, or good, because it's like I just want to be loved and I want everybody else to be loved. So like let's love together. So it was like now it's just like love ain't there and I don't feel like I can't be there because I done spent too much time not loving me. So it's like I can't do it. Like I can't function where love ain't. Like if I ain't happy and I don't love you, like I can't be there. Like because I
So
love me too much to go through that.
is this
Mhm.
just with intimate relationships or is this with
Everybody, like
everybody? Okay.
everybody, like I can't. If I know, like if I, I ain't like even go deep like that, but it's like I don't I like to have positive conversations like with my friends and my family. It's like when I got the phone with you, I gotta feel like a sense of empowerment, like that was accomplished, or we talked about this. I feel good about this, like anybody I talk to, it's like I want to be able to go to you when I'm down and out. So if I know I ain't gonna get that from you, I ain't talking to you. Like everybody I talk to in my circle, even with my family, it's like it's love there. Like even when I don't want to hear it, it's love there.
Mhm.
You got something you want to add to that, Delisa? Or we'll go for the next one.
I just feel like it starts with processing. Just processing who you are and certain things that you have in your life. So I made a list about myself, these are things that people have said to me, and that was on one list, and then the other one was things that I had said to myself, and both of these things were negative. And out of those lists, I looked at things that were repetitively said to me, as well as what can necessarily be fixed, and what is just like, this is, I'm not touching that. I love that about myself. I don't care what y'all said, or I don't care, how anyone has made me feel about this certain quality of myself. I love that about myself. So I'm not choosing to fix that, but there are certain things on that list that I did decide that I can necessarily fix. And so just processing conversations, or just going through past relationships or friendships that have failed, got into with if you got into an altercation with like maybe a family member, just certain things that have been repetitive behaviors that have been going on and on and on in your life, processing that and saying like, okay, is this something that I can fix?
Okay. I have to commend both of you ladies for doing the work, because it sounds like you've put it in perspective for yourself to make the change that you want to see happen in your life. And for me, what I did is I went biblical. The love is patient, love is kind. I actually put my name there, and it got real, y'all. I realized I wasn't patient. I was kind, but I was not patient, and it made me work on my patience. And the funny part is, a lot of people tell me that I had patience, but no, I really didn't have patience. I have patience now, but I actually put that into perspective for myself. So I actually wrote that scripture down, put my name in the scripture, and those areas that I saw that I lacked in were the areas I began to become intentional about, because those were the things that I wanted to see in my life. So Rebo, we're bringing you back into the conversation, and what we're talking about is taking our toxic traits and turning them into healthy traits. You got anything off the top of your head that you can think about? How can you change that? And then we're gonna go back and ask you another question or bring you back into the combo.
Okay, what can help you turn toxic things into healthy things? Um, there's two things. You need to have discipline, and there has to be accountability.
Mm.
Because a lot of people, I feel like toxic is overused in today's world. It's like the new thing and the new trend to say this, but a lot of times people mind themselves. You have to get into a point where you have to take out the discipline to learn the things that you're doing wrong and adjust and to fix them. And then accountability have to come in and say, hey, I took part in being this type of toxic type of person or toxic in this situation. So once you have those two things, I think that that's the best transition.
Mm.
I like that. That's good.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm over here like,
That's good. I'm
I
taking
love.
notes.
Hey, that's
Good job.
good.
Way to go, Lawrence.
So, do you think that the definition of toxic varies among individuals, male and female? Anybody?
Oh, this is
I'm sorry,
anybody.
what
I
was
thought
that
that was
question
for Reba.
again?
Do you think that the definition of toxic varies among individuals? Because I think you hit on it a little bit, Rebo. So, like,
Mm.
I guess the behavior of a male's toxic trait is definitely going to show up. Do you think it's going to show up differently than a female's toxic trait?
mm.
I don't believe that one is bigger than the other. I think that men are equally quote unquote toxic in things that they do. It's just that who addresses it first is what it comes down to. Who actually took the time to address it? And that's really a thing to actually answer, because it's like I feel like a lot of women a lot of times victimize themselves. I don't think accountability. I think that a lot of times men, they know that they have an issue and they don't try to do it, right? They don't actually take any steps to correct themselves. I think that is done differently, but I don't think either male or female is more toxic or whatever.
Interesting. Okay, so I think we're going to close it out on this question. So, do you think that setting a boundary is a toxic trait, or cutting people off is a toxic trait. It's setting a okay. I made it my Facebook question earlier this week. I feel like setting a boundary is a healthy trait, and cutting people off is I'm not sure what it is.
I think we all have different definitions of what cutting people off is, because I could have a very, very close relationship with you at one point in our life, and then something has transpired which has caused me to scale back, but I'm still cordial, or I'm still there, but I'm not there how I used to be. So is that cutting people off, or is it just being like, oh, I'm done with you, I'm not fooling with you anymore for the rest of my life?
See, to me, that's like setting a boundary. Like, I know my limits with you. And for me, that's a healthy trait. Cutting people off, I feel like people cut them off and they never have the conversation of why I'm not talking to you anymore. So what is y'all experience with that? Like, we never healed what the issue was. We just decided we were never talking anymore. And deep down, it kind of festered us, because most people who cut people off, when that other person comes around, they feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I'm toxic. Put my name on it. Say no. Because I could cut a person off. Like, I just feel like I just feel like at a certain point, people know what they doing. So it's like, why do I have to explain to you why I cut you off? Like, you know what you did, or you had an idea of what you did while I'm not talking to you. Like, I don't have time for the extra conversation. So I would not talk to you ever again. And I'm okay with that. Well, I feel like I'm okay with that or whatever. Like, I could delete a person's number, block them, and not talk to them again because you did something to hurt my feelings. And I don't have time to, let's talk about you hurt my feelings. Like, I'm not doing that with you. Like, I'm not doing that with grown people.
So deep down inside, though, when that person comes around, do you feel some type of way?
It depends.
And that there is the problem.
Of course.
No, I was just gonna say,
of course is the answer.
It's so true that some people don't know what they did to you. It's certain people in this world on today that are upset with me, and I have no idea what I did to them. So it's like, some people do things unknowingly. I mean, I know I play too much and I joke too much, and that's probably what it was. But it's just like, sometimes you just honestly don't know where we went wrong. Now, some people are very aware, but there are individuals who they don't know what they did. So, I mean, I think it's unhealthy not to have those conversations.
Could be. Cut that.
Revo, you got anything you want to? We still praying for Derisa, y'all. Make sure y'all put my baby on y'all prayer list tonight, okay?
As far as there is... there is nothing wrong with having boundaries. You have to figure out specifically, why did you create this boundary? I think I don't know people a lot of close person out there on the kid explain it bound, I'm out. You know what I mean? But there has to be, with boundaries, there has to be communication with these different people so that they know that they've crossed a boundary of yours that they personally can't respect. And so I think that has communication. I think that you make the choice. Either I'm gonna split or I'm gonna stay, or whatever the case may be. So that's what I think.
Good feedback on that question. It was one of my Facebook questions, and I was like, I gotta pose it to them before we close out tonight. Oh, so you all, we have talked about it. Toxic relationships versus healthy relationships. Derisa wore toxic on her forehead tonight, but she is changing. She is coming over to the healthy side because she got some tools, right? You got some tools, even though she wasn't listening.
I was. You know, you don't have to give everybody the energy. Like express how I feel in a healthy way. You know, listen for understanding.
Oh, look at God. Look at God.
That's what my books say.
Wait, that's what you wrote down tonight?
No, that's what the textbooks say, but you know.
The textbook.
All right. So hopefully this conversation has impacted you all, because ideally we want all of us to have healthy relationships that overflow into everything that we do. If you're a healthy individual, that overflows in your business, your success, your present time, your future. You can even go back and mend some stuff in your past. When I say go back and mend, I mean present day, you working on those kinks to move forward, okay? So what we're doing, we're listening. We're not arguing back. We listening. We're listening to effectively respond, not argue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, an effort to change some of those toxic behaviors,
Correct.
we're taking care of ourselves. We're loving on ourselves. We're treating ourselves the way we want to be treated. And we're showing up as our best self. We're talking to ourselves. Your best relationship is with yourself. You holding yourself accountable. Like I told y'all today, I was in the Dollar Tree. I had to tell myself, get the hell out this store. Like, I knew what I came here for. Stick to the list and get out of here, sis. All right? So you can stop and control yourself. You can stop that overthinking by yelling stop. Yes, it takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight, but start practicing, right? Go check yourself in the mirror, talk to yourself, work on yourself, make these changes so that this can overflow into your children. This can overflow into your legacy. This can overflow into the world. We live in a cruel world, but if we have kind, whole, healthy individuals, the world can change. Y'all believe that?
Absolutely.
I believe the world can change if we really take care of ourselves.
I
So
definitely
hopefully you
believe that.
enjoyed your time with us in the Transparency Place. Before we leave, I do want to allow my friends to put out their social media platforms if individuals want to connect with you or have questions. So go ahead, Delisa, let them know where they can find you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Delisa S. Washington on Facebook, and at Lisa Sequoia, Sequoia as in the tree, Lisa Sequoia, the number 11, on all other social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and yeah, just we gonna stop there.
What about Pinterest, though? Because I know your Pinterest is hype.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? It is Lisa Sequoia on Pinterest.
Pinterest is hype. Darisa, let them know where to find you for those lashes of all kinds.
Yeah, on Instagram for the lashes, you can at me at Elador lashes. No, I'm sorry. The Elador collection. And my Instagram is Darisa__. So you can hit me up on both and you'll get a quick reply.
The Candle Man, let us know about the experience, Candle Man.
All right, man. All right. Purple Rose Experience on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Bonus BOUNN. You find me on Crush Spot and Black Planet at Purple Rose. Does Black Planet even exist?
It does exist, though. I think it does exist. I'm about to go look it up.
Right. No one's gonna find you on there, Rebo.
Wow. Oh yeah. Now, let me not forget. Let me not forget. Pearl Experience on Christian Mingle as well, so you can find me on there. I'll reply to all messages. Okay.
Christian Mingle.
We can't stand him. My friends, it has been a blessing. Those of you who have joined us tonight, thank you. Happy Resurrection Sunday. I pray that you all are blessed by the Transparency Place, and we'll continue to do what we do. Next week, I'll be back on Sunday night, 8 o'clock, with another one of my friends, and we're going to talk about the whole and healed woman. The whole and healed woman next week, all right? Other than that, have a blessed week. Rock it out. Be tough. Do what you need to do. And good night.
Good night.
Hi guys, I'm Kalia.
I'm Salita.
And we want to welcome you to our new podcast called Sisters Talking Ish on the Real Ish Radio Network.
So download the app at realishradioapp.com. And you can also watch us on Facebook and YouTube and listen to the audio on all streaming platforms. Hope you guys check us out soon.